Hi everyone, my name is Laura Roberts and I am from the University at Buffalo, where we are the New York State Speak Out Therapy and Research Center. We are happy to collaborate with Parkinson Voice Project to provide the Speak Out Therapy program to people not only in Buffalo, but across the state of New York. And so today, you'll find out soon enough, we are doing a theme today for New York City. If you've seen me here before doing some daily home practice sessions, you'll know that we often do a Buffalo theme, but we have so many patients who come to speak out from the New York City area that we thought this would be a great way to honor them. And for those of you maybe who are joining from home who have not seen us at the University at Buffalo, but maybe you are somewhere in New York State, whether it's the New York City area or elsewhere, so that you can learn about our services here and that we can see you over Zoom from anywhere in the state. So stay tuned to the end of the session where I will share our phone number and contact information if you would like to get a hold of us. We'd be happy to speak with you. So let's get started. Let's take a sip of water to wet the palate and get us ready for these warm-ups. We are going to start, of course, with our May, Me, My, Mo moves, really connecting and lifting these and pulling out your best intent. Let's start together. May, me, my, mo, moo. Wonderful. Boost that intent even more. May, me, my, mo, moo. Really pull out each and every one of those sounds. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. And really boost that intent for this next one together. May, me, my, mo, moo. And as we say in our therapy groups here in Buffalo, the last one is the best one. So really project that intent up and over. May, me, my, mo, moo. I'm hearing that intent and feeling it through the computers, being intentional with our voices, with our faces. Tell me, with your best intent, what is our next activity? If you said the ahs, you would be correct. So we're going to hold our ahs out about 10 seconds or so, but quality over quantity. We want to be sure that we're projecting our voices, that we don't want our voices to kind of trickle off at the end. We're going to use our best intent and stop when we need to. So let's do the first one together. Ready? Wonderful intent. Let's see if we can boost it even more, projecting those voices for number 2. Beautiful. I'm hearing those voices really projecting forward. That's what we want to hear. Here's the next one. Wonderful. I'm feeling that intent, seeing intent in those faces, in those voices. Again. Wonderful intent. And as we say here in Buffalo, the last one, the best one. So really project your voices. Wonderful. I am feeling my voice getting warmed up. I hope that you are feeling your voices getting warmed up with intent too. Let's take a sip of water. It's so important to stay hydrated throughout the day during our exercises, but also all throughout the day. What's our next activity that we do after the ahs? Tell me with your best intent. If you said glides, again, you would be correct. We're going to start low, and then we're going to glide up to that higher note. We'll stop, and then we'll come in at that upper note and glide back down to home base. Here we go together with your best intent. Ah, ah. Wonderful. As we're starting to warm up our voices, let's even boost that intent even more for number 2. Ah, ah. And I know that everybody at home can bring even more intent for number 3. Ready? Ah, ah. All right, as we're warming up those voices, I know that we can really pull that intent out here for number 4 together. Ah, ah. And you know what I'm going to say for number 5, the last one, the best one. We're going to bring that intent. Are you ready? Say ready with your best intent. Here we go. Ah, ah. Wonderful work, everyone at home. Take a sip of water. Important for us to do in between our voice exercises. Next up, we have our counting. So we are going to count. We're going to make sure that we are intentional, connecting all the sounds, really pulling them out here for each and every one. Are you ready? I heard you all say ready with your best intent one more time. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's take a sip of water in between. Wet that whistle so we can keep going. We're going to go for round 2 one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Great intent, really pulling it out there, up and over the computers. We've got one more round to go. We're gonna go backwards this time. We're gonna count down from 16. Here we go. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want to say blast off after that. Let's all say that with our best intent. Blast off. That's what that makes me think of. All right, as promised, we are going to move into our reading, and we are going to have a theme of New York City. Here you can see the tree lit up at Rockefeller Center, something that tourists and everyone alike likes to go see when they're visiting New York this time of year. We're going to read each sentence 2 times and use more intent the second time around. Here is our first sentence. We're going to read it together. Really lift your voices with me. Almost 8 million people live in New York City. Great intent, but we can do even better. Ready? Almost 8 million people live in New York City. Wonderful. And there we have a shot of the very busy Times Square, a very hustling and bustling area of New York. Here is our next sentence. Say it with me. France gifted the Statue of Liberty to the United States in 1886. That sounded great, but we can do even better lifting those voices. Let's do it again. France gifted the Statue of Liberty to the United States in 1886. If you have been to the Statue of Liberty before, say it with your best intent. I've been to the Statue of Liberty. Here is our next one. We'll say this together. The first pizzeria in the United States opened in New York City in 1895. That's a delicious looking piece of pizza. We're going to say it again, putting emphasis on that pizzeria with our best intent. The first pizzeria in the United States opened in New York City in 1895. Pizzerias have been around for a long time. Here's a photo of Times Square again. Say this sentence with your best intent. Times Square is named after the New York Times. We're going to do that again, really pulling that intent out. Times Square is named after the New York Times. Great intent. I'm feeling it come through the computer. We can do even better for this one. We'll read it together. New York City became the first capital of the United States in 1789. Let's do it again, even more intent. New York City became the first capital of the United States in 1789. Let's take a sip of water before we begin our conversation exercise. We are going to stick to our theme of New York City, and we're going to answer some trivia questions with intent. Please read this question with me, projecting your voice using your best intent. Where in New York City is famous for its theaters? If you know the answer to this one, say it out loud with your best intent. If you said Broadway, you would be correct. Let's say that all together with our best intent. Broadway. One more time, really pulling those sounds out. Broadway. If you've been to a Broadway play or a Broadway musical, say the name of that play or musical with your best intent. Wonderful. Before we move to our bonus reading, we are going to do our Dr. Boone's nonsense words. We're going to read through each line twice. We'll start with the first one. Goo, la, gung, ga, ga. Again. Goo, la, gung, ga, ga. We're going to move on to that second line. Ku, ka, mung, goo, ka. Again, boost that intent. Ku, ka, mung, goo, ka. Together. Gung, gla. Again for that one. Gung, gla. And our last line. Ku, kla. And last one, best one. Ku, kla. All right, everyone. I hope that you're feeling that intent, that you are being so intentional with all of our activities so far. We're moving into our last activity. Our time is coming near an end. We're going to do our bonus reading. We're going to read this passage 2 times. The second time around, we are going to use even more intent. Our passage today, of course, we are sticking to our New York City theme. This is a poem by Walt Whitman called Mannahatta, which is an indigenous name that the word Manhattan came from. So this talks about his love for New York City, for the borough of Manhattan. This is only a small part of this poem, but if you'd like to read the whole poem, it's quite lovely, and this is just a little portion of it. So let's read this together the first time around with our best intent. Numberless crowded streets, high growths of iron, slender, strong, light, splendidly uprising toward clear skies. Tides swift and ample, well loved by me, toward sundown. The flowing sea currents, the little islands, larger adjoining islands, the heights, the villas. All right, we're going to read this portion of the poem one more time. There are a lot of lists here. So each thing that we're listing, we are listing with our best intent, pulling all those sounds out. Here we go. Numberless crowded streets, high growths of iron, slender, strong, light. splendidly uprising toward clear skies. Tides swift and ample, well loved by me, toward sundown. The flowing sea currents, the little islands, larger adjoining islands, the heights, the villas. So a poem by the lovely Walt Whitman about our location today, our theme of New York City, well loved by New Yorkers and people around the world alike. This is where I am from, the University at Buffalo. I'm from the Department of Communicative Disorders and Sciences. Again, we're so happy and grateful of the support from Parkinson Voice Project and from Samantha and everyone there. If you are in New York State, anywhere in New York State, we can see you for Speak Out Therapy. So our contact information is here on this slide. Please feel free to reach out to us at any time with questions or if you'd like to make an appointment. Again, it's such a pleasure to be on today doing the daily home practice sessions. Everybody have a wonderful winter, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.